in my own life, but, simply because I've been dealing with this in the context of the EPPCN. So EPPCN promotes communication of CERN and particle physics in the member states. And this is one of the working groups that we have now, which I'm co-chairing. So I thought it was a good opportunity, since I think I've never had a deep, so wide discussion about this topic. Maybe time to start. I'm just trying to bring to you what I've learned, get the example of the other partners in the group, and see if this promotes the discussion and if this can inspire us to do something in this domain. So the outline of my talk comes directly from the subtitle. So it's CERN, the particle physics community unleashed. So this is exactly what I'm going to how I'm going to organize this. So starting from CERN, okay, I don't think I need to explain to you what is the context of it. Okay, it's something that is pretty obvious nowadays that we should care about this in every domain, and certainly science is not an exception. And in particle physics, the big projects, the big accelerators are an even bigger reason for us to worry about what we are doing. Then, okay, CERN decided some years ago to become a role model for sustainable research. This was a decision of the Director General. This is supposed to be done in three lines. The first thing is to communicate transparently about the issue. So that they started already from, I think it goes back to 2017. They produced public reports on the environmental impact with a lot of areas, and saying what they are going to improve also. Then the second thing is really to have specific goals to reduce the impact in several areas. And then, okay, to invest also in the development of technologies that can reduce the impact both in particle physics and maybe be applied to other domains. We never know, but this has happened already with other technologies developed for particle physics and specifically at CERN. So, okay, of course, this is essential, and if someone doesn't get convinced by the need to save ourselves, it's also important to save the projects, because the general idea about this now is that it will be as important as costs, for example, for the approval of any long-term project. And this is good. I hope it is like that. So some produced already these two reports. They can be found on the web. And the third one, which brings us to the end of 2022, is going to be published this year, which should be out, I think, after the summer it will come. So these reports, starting with the first one, they cover a lot of areas, from waste, energy, water, noise, whatever. It has a lot of things. This is not for you to read everything. This is the summary of the first report, just to show you that it's really a lot of different things, and that they have some specific, the idea is to give all the numbers, try not to hide anything, or not to not to hide the numbers or the problems. And there is somewhere, but I think I will show you later. In the next one, it's easier to see. And then to have also specific goals. For example, here, this is the summary of the other report. They say that, they have this target of reducing the emissions by 28% until the end of next year. So it's not far away. Let's see if it's in words, but they are doing what they can to really improve. And this, of course, it's two things. One is the fact to reduce what we are doing now, and really to invest in future projects, see what can be done to reduce the now and then the points when the numbers are wanted. Okay. Anyway, you can see that, for example, here the energy. I would find the number for the emissions is huge thing. Is much smaller here, but it's only because it was during the shutdown too. It's not because something really changed that much, because it's about half of the thing, I think, of your emissions. Okay, then how did this come to EPPCN? Then there was this update of the European Particle Physics Strategy, because you probably all know, which was prepared during a couple of years, and recently. Already in the introduction, it mentioned the technical and other environmental challenges associated to this, that this could not be done at any cost. And there was a chapter on the impact, on the environmental impact, but here the thing was still quite in the beginning. So they only mentioned the energy efficiency, the infrastructures, and the divisions of traveling. So it's not really the I think that a lot has been done in the last couple of years, which is maybe the sign of continuing if it continues. So in this context, the EPPCN, which, okay, I summarize here the goals, so it shares best practices and strengthens communication between the member states, and we are supposed to offer advice to the CERN Council. So at each CERN Council there is a presentation from the EPPCN saying about what's happening in the member states. And also we are supposed to give support in this communication about future projects. So in this context, when the strategy update was being prepared, there were two working groups created, combining CERN people and the EPPCN people. One was about the highly luminosity LHC, which was in fact first priority in the update. So this working group was dealing on how to communicate about the physics potential about high luminosity LHC and what are we going to achieve. And the second one was about the environment. How are we going to deal with the questions and explain to people what we are trying to do in this? So these were considered the main topics to be discussed when communicating about the future of the LHC and what comes after that. So, and this brings me to the second topic, which is the particle physics community, because the EPPCN in the end communicates to the particle physics community in the different countries and to the public after that. And what we learned in this working group was that we had really two things to do. And different countries were at different stages, which was, okay, in some cases, the communication had to be to the inside, to the community, to really engage the community, to make the community understand that, okay, this could not be ignored and that to be taken into account. And in other places, like CERN felt, okay, we are trying to do already lots of things, but people don't know that we are doing this. So that is why at different stages in this respect. So it was like we needed a change of culture still in the community in many places. And in others, it was more like not being perceived by the society as they just don't care and they are, like CERN, it still has this problem. They claim that they are often perceived as a polluter in the region. And even in things that are no longer true, that are solved since many years. Okay, but things have a reason, and now this shift has still happened. And the transparent communication is one of the things that they can help, because they always had the reports, for example, for the Swiss Confederation, and these things were not public. So now, since they are public, it should help. Okay, anyway, the action decided by the working group was, first thing was to collect information, because nobody really knew how was the situation globally in the country, in the community. People heard about action. Everybody knows that there are groups at the LHC, for example, that organize workshops about sustainable research and try to push for less meetings. And then the people that are in the large collaborations know that I know people that are involved in this, but then it's nothing institutional, and most people just are not aware of the decisions taken or whatever. Everybody knows it exists, but it's somewhere lost. Then the other thing was after we collected this information to spread it, so to do some campaigns with the social media or with the articles about this or whatever, and then to see in each country how could we contribute to the step forward, which could be a different thing depending on where each country stands on this business. So we started with the survey. We started in the beginning of the year, at Christmas time, last Christmas. So the survey results, we got answers from the CERN plus 12 countries, which is about half of what we have in the EPPCN. Was already not there. Not all the countries are represented there. And this was the answer to the general question about how they felt. This was the question to the EPPCN representative. How they felt, what was the attitude of the community in the country towards this thing. And okay, you can see that we divided it in two areas. The people that said that, okay, it's this big thing from here to here, this country said that some action was being taken. And in half of the cases, they said that it was already at institutional level. In the other cases, it was just small groups or individual action existed. And then in this minority, but already okay, not solid, there was a consistent strategy. In some cases, it needed to be more communicated. In other countries, not even that. So the best group included CERN, Norway, and Switzerland. But then, okay, in all this already there was an institutional program to do that. Okay, I would say Italy was a bit in the border between these two because they had a strategy, but it was complete at the INFN. It was completely new, so most of things were to be done still. So they were kind of in the transition. And okay, for Portugal, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I said that there were individual actions, but nothing more than that. I think that's the case. Then another thing we asked was for people to mention good aspects, positive things that have been done, or and this is things that people mention frequently in decreasing order of frequency. From waste, selective waste collection that most everybody was had in the lab, from treating policies, less frequently traveling policies, and several labs every year or have a carbon footprint calculation done by some external entities. This is not everywhere, but several of them is correct. So these are things that can be done. In some places are done informally. In other places there is a strategy, and these things are kind of enforced on the groups to some extent at least. Then about the difficulties or bad parts. Okay, these again are divided in external community and internal community. And for the external, okay, it was this campaign that is given to such consume a lot of energy and emit a lot of CO2 and other gases. Then CERN is this thing that they really have to communicate about what they are doing, because people are still remembering the old days in which they were really not doing much. And then they are really scared of this thing of greenwashing, of being accused of greenwashing, which is natural. But they think that giving all the numbers is the best way of not running into this problem. But you cannot really put things on the social media saying you are really proud of this and that. It has to be kept. Then in the internal community, in many labs, people complain about the fact that there is a group of people that is already very much aware, and the others that, I don't know, seem to think that science is an exception to every rule or whatever, and think that in this case we can go on just as we always did, but okay, it will not be the case here. So then in places where there are lots of things going on, people also have problems because sometimes it's a full university, for example, in Finland or in Norway, the full university has a big plan, so a strategic plan for this. But then they say that the people individually don't care so much. They say, someone is taking care of things and they don't even know about the goals. And so there maybe some more communication is needed also but these are the kind of things that people, I would say we still don't have these problems that we are not thinking that someone is taking care of this for us, but we are also maybe not really all following the people that are more engaged and more aware. So we had our first campaign, which is based on the material that we collected in the survey, stories from the different countries on what is being done. And I hope some of you at least saw it passing, because I published it on the social media. Actually, each day, one of the countries, Monday was CERN, and then it will be until Saturday with the different countries. We didn't select all the countries, just the ones that had more stories. That was the first half, kind of. And we started on Twitter, and then we shared each other's things, and also I published it on the website too, because I know that most researchers don't follow so much the social media, or are not in the social media that much. So I was updating the news on the site every day with a new story from it's short stories, and then they have links to the places where the people have written the articles. So this was a joint work of the environment working group and the social media working group, which is also involving the certifications team. And the link is to this web-based article. And then people in the different places have also different activities depending on what they need to do. So they need to talk to the outside, if they need to get organized as a community. So here we are having this seminar at least, and you can see if we do something more. We tried to get some variety. It was not really all the stories. We tried to choose different things from different countries just to illustrate and to inspire action in other places. This was the idea. So this is not the order of the days of the week. I have put it in a more natural order for this seminar. So starting with something that is not CERN, but is also a very big lab, DESI in Germany. There is also publishing already public reports on the environment. The first one is published, is on the website, the second one coming out soon. And the story we chose from DESI was that they are already hitting 1/3 of the campus with the waste heat from the accelerators there, which is quite nice. And they had just had a very big project approved now to do it for the full campus, and even for I think it's some science park or something like that that is being built around. So this is a nice story, and you can read about it in the news on the site. But of course, it's something hard to compare with we don't have accelerators, so it's not something that we can copy. But I noticed that in most countries people didn't know this was happening. And of course, they do many other things. This was a selected story. They participate, for example, in a big project, which is a European project for technology development, for better accelerators in the future from this environmental point of view. Okay, there are lots of things going on, of course. Then, another lab is going to be compared to us, because they also have accelerators and so on. It's the PSI in Switzerland. And they are improving their cyclotron light source, which is going to be not only more efficient, it will be brighter and it will consume less, which is a good thing, starting from 2025. And here they also have lots of initiatives of using waste heat and things like that. So they are doing a lot. The Swiss community is also very much involved in these projects for technologies for future accelerators. You can read about that. And there they had an internal campaign on the social media they published the stories from their own, also apart from the general stories of the other countries, they published stories from their country, one per day also, because really the different institutions are really all doing things and they wanted to promote communication, because there was a workshop on sustainability organized the following week, involving all the institutes in Switzerland. So they wanted to use this moment to share information. Then, okay, things that can be more easily compared to us, because this is in the physics department in Lund. This is just a project about the problem of software, energy consumption of software, and of training the large machine learning algorithms. And in this project, they want first to establish standard metrics to make things comparable, and then to go for developing training people, especially young researchers, in things that are both energy saving and good programming practices. So it's really telling them if you are a good programmer, you don't have to spend so much, and combining the two things, I think it can be more motivating for people to learn. But the first thing is really to collect different metrics, different indicators that have been used up to now, and see what can be useful in our field. So first, when we started working on this story, they had a project that then was not approved by the European Union, I think, but now they already got funding from somewhere, and they are going to move forward. This is the starting project, so they don't have results yet, but it's quite interesting, and they have quite a few references there that are also interesting to read. Then, okay, this is okay. Of course, in Finland, this is an example in which they had of course, the old University of Helsinki had big strategic document on the environment. But we didn't want this because this can be also called greenwashing. We wanted something that comes from the particle physics community. It's not to say that because the country is a lot of things, this is not the initiative of the community, which is what we are looking for in this case. So this is something that involves all the universities, most universities in Finland. They have these boot camps, a group of students, master's students from all Finland, from different areas, go to CERN once a year, and have these brainstormings on different problems, sustainability, both social and environmental and whatever, and they try to come up with creative solutions on different things. And last year, okay, this was a participant. I didn't know if this was a boy or a girl. It seems that it's a girl. From the picture in the interview, but she was there, and they were dealing with this thing of sustainable cities and how to involve people more in the topic, and came up with some focus. It looked like the title was a revision inspired sustainable city contest. Okay, I didn't really think the title compared because it can be a bit late. But okay, it's a different thing, but just to show some variety on the solutions. And then from Mikev, we got this, okay, the one from Lund was appropriate for us, I would say. Also here, I like often to compare ourselves to Mikev because it's, the lab is, in several respects, it's twice, is 2 times big. In number of researchers, in number of people. The country is not so big as well. But, so I think then if you go to money, it's not a factor of 2. It's another thing, but I think it's in many respects, it's a good comparison. I mean, it's easier to compare it to Mikev than to CERN. So, I mean, in many things it helps, and it can give us some inspiration. So they are doing a lot. So they have this roadmap for sustainability. It's a document, and they aim at making this kind of metro by 2030. Okay, it's nice, ambitious. Okay, these are the sustainability ambassadors. They are some researchers. One is the institute manager. Others are administrative people, so everybody is involved, and each one of them has one of these 5 pillars of the roadmap. And okay, they try to push. Of course, then the document is done by in coordination with the management, but then they try to push on their specific pillar, to push for action and see what things are going. But then, okay, I'm going to detail a bit more the weaker case, because as I said, I think it's more useful for us to think about this as it's closer to our stuff. So these are the 5 pillars: energy, mobility, waste, behavior, and what they call primary processes is really the R&D procedures. So how they develop the detectors and how they build things. And, so it's a part in which CERN is also very much involved. And okay, these are the goals for 2030, 2 by pillar, and then they have intermediate goals to see how things are going in the middle. And okay, the thing here is to become really climate neutral, and you see that, for example, travel is supposed to become to reduce to 50% here. All buildings are supposed to be. They're doing a lot of works, construction works in the buildings to improve them, and also to make some innovative ways of heating them, become climate neutral. And then okay, produce no residual waste at nickel, which means okay, good. I don't know how they're going to do this, but it's. And then okay, to have people really think about sustainability as part of the normal when they take a decision about how to do whatever. So here, okay, the people are really looking very much at CERN on how these R&D things are doing, but okay, I don't go into details in this. We can have this document, this roadmap is really short. It's like 14 pages, but it has really all the actions for each of these topics in the midterm and also in the end of the decade. So it's nice to go in detail. I hope we can at some point discuss which of these things make sense and which are just impossible for us. But, okay. Then, okay, every year also there is this presentation of the carbon footprint. And okay, I will not go in details, but just to show you that, okay, this big thing, this blue, okay, blue is 2019, sorry, so still before the pandemic. And the last year is this. And here is traveling, airplane traveling. And you see that it was really enormous. And then, okay, these were the pandemic years, but it didn't go back, at least for the moment, to not even to half, or it's like 1/3, which is something I'm sure is not happening here. I don't know. At least the Secretariat is complaining about so much traffic that they have no time to do anything else than booking plane tickets. So I don't know. We should maybe try to see how we are here. And then, okay, they have these things are very low. Other types of traveling and whatever. Then commuting is also a little bit important, but it's decreasing. And then this is the building heating, and they have plans to really cancel this completely. They cannot really reduce the gas consumption, they can just change to another thing. Okay, these are so the thing that they published for our campaign was the interviews with the 5 ambassadors. And these are some quotations, things that they said. Okay, it was about this traveling. Okay, as they say, it's the same for us. They work internationally, so they will have to continue to travel. This for the moment, they say they are not going to ban it, at least for now. But they will continue to travel, but with much more policy than in the past. Back then, we flew to CERN 10 times a year, sometimes even back and forth on the same day. We really don't want that anymore. Okay, and they just want people to think carefully if they cannot attend the meeting online, or if they cannot combine several trips in one and go there, stay a few days at do everything, or things like that. Then, okay, they have this, the part of the institute that is in Amsterdam, because they are also a bit split, like in person places. They have a big data center, and they want to use the heat from the data center, which is already being used for years to heat student housing. They want to use it for their buildings as well, and to stop the gas consumption there. That is the plan, because they say the electricity is already from green sources. Okay, I did investigate this, but in France, when it's usually like nuclear, because that has no emissions. It's true, but I would not call it green. Okay, but here I don't think so. And then, okay, they were classified already in a study that was done in particle physics. These things exist as an emission, an institute emitting below average. This 4.5 tons per year compared to 6 on average. I don't know these numbers in general, what is high, what is low, but okay, there are lots of numbers available, so maybe we can guess what should be our something in movies. Okay, this is no idea. And I don't know if the University of Lisbon has. Okay, so let's come to more local things. And then, okay, NICEF is supposed to be a starting point of inspiration, but then I look around us. What are the other people similar to us doing, or in science or related to science? And I came across 3 examples. Okay, of course there are more things, but there are 3 examples here. So this is the idea, just to see what's being done and what can we take some step forward. And okay, I found a document from Pavilion do Conhecimento, which has already a few years, because this comes from a European project of science centers that were getting organized since 2014 to have this done. Okay, they said that it's normal science centers should care about the interests and what is in the mind of people in society and give a response to this. So they decided to, sorry, this is in Portuguese in this part because I took it from the document, but it's they decided to try to be a reference on talking about this to the community, and also sustainable practice. Okay, I don't know if one notices this already going there, but at least, okay, the style is different. This recap report was 14 pages. This is a 14 whatever. It's really different style. But anyway, they have a strategic plan in different things. And they have, for example, that something that they have already at recap, which is a guide for sustainable events. So when organizing the events, how to avoid the plastic bottles. In recap, they have, for the events organized, they have only vegetarians, for example, to reduce the impact of the events. Not in everyday life, they don't force everybody to, but if it's a weekend organized event, then yes. Otherwise, they cannot meet the goals. Then, okay, this is just to show you something that it's already, it's again the computation of the carbon footprint. And again, the big things are electricity. Of course, if you have a big building, it's going to happen. And then this commuting of the people working there is also a very big fraction. And then the traveling for people to go to meetings and things abroad, and for inviting people to come. So traveling is really more than half of this. So this is good to see. And one of the things they did was really an analysis. There were some technical visits to the building to assess the consumption, and also to talk to the people in the different activities to see what they think can be done. And then they evaluated if these things are easy to implement and if they really have an impact or not. So I have no idea if this thing is really being taken forward, but at least this preparatory work has been done and the documents on that exist. Then, okay, we have the school just nearby. And okay, this is from their webpage. They have all these areas in which they are trying to improve. So you can see here that they have a lot of solar panels in the buildings. And here, okay, what is called to be named is the consumption per year, which seems to be decreasing, and also the production, which okay, they are starting to produce and put it in the grid in the last few years. And they're okay. They work on all these different areas, and I could not ignore these. In these green areas, that they have done a lot in these orphans. So people that were not here before the pandemic don't even know, but we were in touch with them. We were starting a vegetable garden here, coordinated by Unibor. Yes, it was very nice. We were just starting, and they were coming to teach us this kind of things. Then, okay, it was hard to find time and people and everything. So, but very secret, because now, I mean, they are not even, it's not a great place, but also there, they are just next to the circular, and it looks like a nice forest, a nice garden, it's really incredible. And they have also volunteers helping them with that. It's a nice work. And then they have different ways to recover the waste, and they work together already with the full faculty of sciences. And then there are different projects there in different departments, which they list also in this page, and which also accept volunteers to participate in some cases. Then something that is a bit smaller, that's why I brought it here. So this is in EPPCN, it's a research institution on biotechnologies and chemistry. And okay, they just have some people, I don't know if this is official or if they got organized by themselves, that they created this sustainability committee. So people that are worried about this and just got together. It was from students to whoever wants to participate and to promote changes. And from what they still don't have a strategic plan or anything, so I think it might be an initiative starting from the people. And what they are doing now is that they have this challenging that they propose to the lab. I don't know if it's every week, every month, whatever. Different things. It could be try to get better in separating waste, or try to reduce printing, or even to think about whatever problem that this was over Christmas. Okay, to start make Christmas decorations just using waste. And okay, different things. Some very simple, others maybe not. But they seem to be trying to get organized to do more. Okay, these were the examples. So going back to us, from all this, I mean, so what should we do? Where should we start from? Creating a community. Are there motivated people that would like to try to push the others? Have meetings, coffee discussions on that. There is an S meeting here. Okay, propose these challenges, approach our partners, and organize a workshop of the research community here to share experiences and ideas. Approach the University of Lisbon and see how they are on that, and if this building is going to at some point to make this kind of analysis or not. So this is just where I stopped, just to see, okay, here or after. I think it's something that we should discuss. And another last thing I came across is this just next door in CS. There is this summer school on sustainability. It happens apparently every year in September. This is from last year, but hopefully there will be one coming up. So it's a few days. So if someone is interested, it should be also a nice thing. I don't know if there will be one this year, but I hope so, because there was several already before. Okay, that's it, and I think they're a good place to start.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have some time for questions and discussions. So let's start with maybe questions from the room. And people on Zoom, please raise their hands. Diana?
You mentioned that there was a drastic reduction in the amount of travels, but they don't actually have any kind of measure to constrain people or like.
No,
this transition.
they had something. For example, these the communication people, I know people from the communication office that go frequently to the same meetings where I go to CERN, and the last time they went by train, and this was a part of an organized thing, like they were experimenting different ways of traveling and also reporting to the institute how long does it take, how much does it cost. So they were encouraging. The institute was encouraging to try different ways and to avoid certain things. So they were talking about that they don't prevent anyone from going anywhere, but they encourage this kind of practices. And for example, going by train was more expensive. And they support this. If people go by train, it's not a project that has to pay the extra, it's supported. Since the plan, the strategic plan exists, I think they have regular meetings on there. Also, the head of the institute talks to the people, even in the night. They have a channel conference to the people every month, and also they discuss about these things. So it's very present. There's no rule, strict rule, but they are encouraging and sharing the experiences. How is it to go in the night train to Geneva instead of taking the plane? And then they get support with this kind of experiment and to share them with others. And then they are highly encouraged to see this online as well. And also this thing of combining trips. So you go to CERN, but instead of going 3 times to go to different things, we try to organize talking to different people, doing different things in the same. But it's true, it's impressive how much it is without anyone being forced not to go.
To the same question about air travel, I mean, doesn't this reduction does it look like it has a larger effect than it actually has? Because if I don't travel to CERN, the flight goes without me, but it still goes. So I mean, the demand would have to be reduced quite a lot in order to see, now it's a flight that's been cancelled or it is taken off regular schedule.
No, it's taken out of the emissions of the institute, right?
Yeah, but it's a big reduction because the same emission actually happened.
But this is the starting point for nobody doing anything, because if it's just me, it doesn't work anymore.
No, I mean, I'm wondering, has there been any study done where we can see what the effect this reduction of actually had?
This one, no, not really. During the pandemic, we saw it, right?
Yeah, but they are really the number of flights that's big. It's just so how much we keep ourselves in thinking that if I go as often to CERN, that the emissions are really reduced.
I don't think we feel ourselves. I think we don't have immediate effect, but if, of course, if more and more people refuse this way of living, we get there. I think it's, but I don't know how they study this. No, it's, but I mean, things like the software, a big, the training of a big, complex machine learning algorithm can be the same as a transient flight. So, and there it doesn't go if you don't do it. Okay, they really stop the flight. So there are lots of things that can be done, and I think that we are not going to wait until the companies or the governments stop the flights. Right? It has to come from different sides. That's it. It's not going to work like that. Like we don't change anything until they just get it done. I think it's very years. But yeah, I don't know the real number. Yeah.
Just say one thing is that I don't know if they have this data or not, but there is this campaigns, larger campaigns about not flying, of course. There is one that is international that's called Stay Grounded. And maybe you can find, I don't know what kind of data they are collecting, but maybe they have something. And also here we have like these smaller groups that are part of this larger campaign. They are called the Terra. So they are also trying to raise awareness about reducing flights. And one other thing they are doing is trying to get back the night train that used to go from Santa Polonia to Spain, France. So, and they are trying to do some kind of action to get it back, but they are just a few.
Yeah.
It's just because this is not isolated, as you are saying, right? It's not like just one thing that one lab does, but there is also.
Yeah, I think this is not the particle physics community pushing for it. This is the particle physics community joining a general or trying to join a more general efforts.
No, just a comment to us opposite, because it is true. If someone says to me, "You want to go to CERN by train?" Come on, I have a life. I need to do something. But it's much more than that. So a few years ago, I went to a conference in Peru, and I got a flight, and then I had a second flight that it was, the distance was like 120 kilometers or something like that. And it was crazy. I'm afraid of flying, so it was crazy because they were making me fly for something for such a short distance, and I was obliged because the ticket was like 100 euros more or less expensive. But this is matter. So there are many habits that we have, and this is the ones that we need to start. You always like something that that doesn't make sense because if I go to Japan, I cannot go by train to Japan. But there are some small things because bad habits are very easy to create. It seems to be the recycling. I started recycling very recently, like 15 years ago or so. So I cannot stop recycling. It hurts me. And I look at the amount of plastic that we do every single day, and now I'm complaining about the plastic because it's not normal that I need to.
Yes.
And these small things are the things that we should follow. But you need to start discussing them.
Yeah, the last time I was buying a plane ticket to Amsterdam, the cheapest version was going first to the Canary Island and then to.
I don't feel that.
Have some data or numbers concerning this building.
That's what I was saying. We can maybe approach the University of Lisbon.
They are,
And then, okay,
some methods.
yeah, I will try. It's not easy, the communication here, but maybe we have to go straight to because there is. There is someone in the close to the rector that is responsible for this building.
Okay.
So maybe we have to go there and try to ask. Because they are doing these constructions, I don't know if they are improving in this respect, but I have doubts. Maybe they are at least isolating better.
I think so. They're putting stuff on the
Solar panels in the
There, yes.
there.
No, yeah, just to put yeah. Because, yeah, these things, just if you don't spend, the plane doesn't go. So it's more direct, we can improve it. But, and they certainly, they will have to do it at some point. More or less, but there will be some minimum things they will have to. Yes. No, with my trainer, this is really a pity because, they killed it now, but they let it be very years until nobody takes it, and then the train from Lisbon to Paris. When I, for the first time, I was 14, and it was taking 28 hours. And now in the last years, it was taking 24. And the only improvement was in France because of the 2G.
I mean, in the last few years, the trend is to go to Paris.
Yeah,
It's only went to Manhattan and then
yeah, and then,
it took
yeah.
the
Yeah. Okay, we're really not investing, but it's like some people say it's like if we for people more from the last century than myself, it's like many things are going back to what they used to be. It's like if we had a few crazy decades in which people thought everything was possible, and now we have to go back to normal kind of. But here, okay, I don't know what is the best approach, but I think we should start getting organized, at least to do these things of collecting, like talking to the university about this building, or knowing in the community what are the labs that are doing something.
I think that graph from NICAF was really telling, right? Where you see exactly where the emissions are coming from, and we could do that here, right?
Yeah.
Building, but also travel, etc., and then see what we need to tackle with
Yeah,
more.
of course they pay a company to compute but they can do something.
Ourselves or pay a
Yes,
company to do
yes.
it also. Right? I mean,
And make a reasonable estimation, I think, and start the discussion from there.
Inside it, we can categorize it to have one idea on much we can in travels like hours, kilometers. Perhaps we can do this inside. How many kilometers? Because the void is cheaper. We go before to Qatar and after to we cannot produce. So it's cheaper. We go more. We spend more kilometers. This means more CO2.
Not in the travel expenses paid for the winter films. I think that this kind of emission might be relatively easy.
Yeah, I think we can know what we buy, yes, and for example, I think maybe the computing also knows something about electricity. Now, okay, we have outsourced most of the data center. It used to be ours, but when it was all in the basement of the old lift, they knew very well what it was spending, and they were trying to improve its efficiency. Now I don't know in the NEC what this thing is, but you can collect this information.
Just one more point. So there was last year, I don't know if it's still there, there was this fantastic exhibition on the maths, and it was for our print in the world, our footprint in the world. And I was a little bit disappointed because I would just need to go one time per year to Argentina to completely kill the world. I could say everything. But I think that this is the wrong message. The important message is the small things. What is the small thing that I'm doing that doesn't cost me anything? To create the habit of thinking about these things and try to improve. And with that, we will step, the other one comes up. I'm just saying this because we will conclude, like we concluded last year, that I just need one trip to kill the world. But this doesn't prevent me to stop working and stop thinking and do something about it. So.
No, just after the
Just a simple question. Would FCD allow me to travel by train if there's a cheaper price?
We should push for that.
If it's public transport, they can allow, and now they always having these applications, they have this sustainability paragraph, right? So we can use it, I think, just to say.
They are not expecting that you use it.
You don't.
But
Then you can find the point there, like we travel, like we take too much flights, and in order to reduce this type of thing, we need
it could be that some people, okay, they are not prevented from doing it by FTP, but by the PI. And also the PI. Come on, like you are spending so much because okay, it's project money and yeah, but also there must be some kind of balance. In NICAP, they support the groups to do this. Yeah, I don't think it will happen, but it also depends on what's the distance, or if you, I don't know, we should look for ways. Even there, they say we are not going to stop traveling, but we have to find ways of thinking better what's the best way to do it. And in some cases, just go, okay, it's, and here it's far away. It's not, we are not in the center of Europe. It's, that's a clear problem, but we can also try to intervene more in the choice for the locations of meetings. Sometimes it's possible to find something in the middle. It would be nice when we have a nice friend in Madrid also. That's really stupid. It's taking myself out. I don't know if it will exist. Still.
No.
No, it doesn't exist anymore. So, I mean, we have to push for things, but okay, we are in the border, that's true. Not go by train everywhere. Amsterdam it's easier. Would you want to say something?
Yeah, I was thinking about the issue of the building is one and the particle physics habits is another. So I like this idea of collecting data about traveling, printing. What else did you say? You said another thing. I also thinking about events. You know, so
Computing, right?
computing, yes, of course. Computing. So I think it's a nice idea to start, but also like just find it a way to do it in participation, not like saying to the administrative.
No,
Like the data, you know, compute all the travels because we don't have it, like the way to do it. And unless it's like a very hard work. So finding a way. And then about the building, I also think that when we had the garden, we had this partnership with people from school and also these crowdfunding people downstairs with EPL. Yes. Nice people. And also the people from school now are working here. They have like a small company too connected with these sustainability issues.
They can
yeah, maybe it's a good idea to join also about the building, to join with these people that are already into this and, you know, take it a bit further. And the last thing is, although I don't, well, it's this kind of greenwashing thing, but it can also not be. And remembering that I don't know, before the pandemic, I think, we organized here in LIP planting trees in Sintra with the group already organized, and we joined a bunch of people, a lot of students. And it's something that people can do as well, you know, regarding this, you know, reducing carbon footprint. And, you know, you make use of CO2 that we are emitting with the flights. We give it plant trees and trees will grow faster. They need that. So
yeah,
it's another idea.
Because I in other subjects, I also, we in communication office also think that we would need more community activities. We would need more things done, especially now that we don't have a canteen or a bar and we don't meet. It's another thing that I think is lacking very much. It's a meeting point that people can talk. And it's not possible to organize this in a very institutional way. There is no time, there is no money, but this kind of thing can do the work. If you go one day to see 30 countries, it's already, if some people join, you can do several things in one. It's good for everything.
Okay. Excellent discussion. Any more pressing questions?
So maybe what I will do is, I write something in an email or in the news, in the site about this small discussion, and what we concluded that maybe should be done, and encourage people to write an email if they are willing to participate, and then we can have a smaller meeting and try to share some initial tasks. I know that nobody has a lot of time, so we have to take this into account, but maybe okay, if people are volunteers, if they are motivated to do it, it's easier, right? So maybe I do this, and then if there are no volunteers, I go to talk to people. And if someone wants to volunteer already to coordinate or to push for this effort, please feel free. I will write this message, and it's okay. Just send me an email or to the communication office so we get the stuff. Okay.
So I think we should thank Catarina again for the excellent